Anyway, finally, for our last story. So as I mentioned earlier, if you're into gaming, especially retro games, a company in Japan has created a retro mini arcade cabinet that you can own. So the company is Taito. So they announced that they're going to release a mini arcade cabinet with rotating screen and trackball controller. So according to TheVerge.com, they mentioned that this company is a Japanese video game publisher that wants to bring back retro or old hardware in a small form factor here. So let's see here. Where the heck is it? There you go. So as you can see here, it's not your typical arcade, big machine that you used to playing in the malls. It's a very miniature size, so you could put it in your shelf and so forth. It's not cheap, by the way. It's going to cost you, but if you really like those games, you're going to be enticed to buy. I think it's similar to how One Up sales arcade, but it's a bigger version, an actual big version in the United States. But anyway, so the company here is behind the popular game Space Invaders. You have Bubble. I haven't played that, and other classic games. According to the Egret the Second Mini, I think it's owned by Sega. Yes, I think so. So this was already popular back in the early 90s. The original Egret 2 was released then. So the key feature here that is different from other is the rotating screen of 90 degrees. So that games with tall aspect ratio, so you could benefit from it. As well as present version of the Egret Mini has a 5-inch screen, not that big, and it has a 4:3 aspect ratio. So you can play it in any orientation, so you can flip it if you want. So would you be interested in buying or purchasing this item? Let's see if you can see an actual design. So obviously Taito is known for arcade machines, so they've created a miniature version here, as you can see here. So you can buy it at home, and you can see here you can spin it around, and it has the 6-axis control that we're known for in any arcade. So you could use that one, the trackball as well, and you can play several games. But wouldn't it be nice to be able to play other types of games as well? But it's better than nothing here. The question is, I'm sorry, how much is it costing? I forgot what's the price here. Yeah. Actually, you could also buy an optional expansion controller. So if you're not happy with the joystick that they have, you can include it, which is additional fee. We have to pay for more. It includes a paddle input for games like Arkanoid, as well as trackball, what we saw earlier for Camel 3. So the controller is, I think it's a typical controller for arcade stuff. No, console games. Sorry. The question is how much it's going to cost you, right? The games they mentioned, you have Space Invaders, Lunar Rescue, Owyx, Elevator Action, that I know, that I played, Chuck and Pop, Bubble as mentioned, Rastan Saga, Rainbow Island Extra, New Zealand Story, never heard of the game, Don Doko Don, you have Violent Fight, Kadash, Liquid Kids, Metal Block, Kaiser Knuckle. So for the paddle trackball, you can play the games. You have Strike Bowling, Arkanoid, Plum Pop, Sivalion, Camel 3, and Arkanoid returns here. So it would be interesting. How much is it going to cost? The cabinet itself is going to cost you $170. So less than 10,000 pesos. Won't it be better to just buy a Switch? But if you're into retro, it would make sense. Then you add in the controller. That's another $100. Almost as expensive as the arcade itself. Then you buy the extra arcade stick. That's another $80. Or 2,000 pesos here. Then the gamepad is another $30. So if you bunch it all up, it's almost going to cost you almost 20,000 pesos here. So it's not going to be cheap. It's going to be released sometime around early March 2022. So you still have time. If you're planning to buy it, you can save up now. So by the time it released, by then you could buy it, or you could get it delivered to your country of origin.